Did you know that it's legal to rape men in India? Now, that probably sounds pretty crazy, but believe it or not, it's actually true. There is a movement in India right now called the Mentoo movement. And it's basically the men's rights movement in India is huge right now. And they're currently protesting many examples of discrimination in law. And there are many male issues in India that you probably haven't heard about in the media, but are very much active and damaging to people's lives. I put a link in the description below to the Mentoo protests going on in India right now. And then the second link in the description below is going to be, in my opinion, probably the biggest issue and kind of the most shocking issue. And that is, in India, men are not legally protected from rape. The laws on sexual assault do not cover men. So it's literally, it's not illegal. It's not like the way the law is written, sexually assaulting a man is not legally listed as a crime. And you'll see I put a few links as well, just sort of saying the same thing. You know, articles that are written pretty much every year. There are protests about this issue because it's obviously affecting a lot of people, and this year it's just sort of coming to a head. But I think this is an example of why we need a specific men's rights movement, and why when they say feminism helps men too, it's really not quite enough. Because something you'll see in that second link, the reason why it is not illegal to rape men in India is specifically because in 2013 the government was doing a kind of update on sexual assault laws, and they were reviewing all the laws, and they were sort of repassing them, or they were amending them, or they were extending them, or whatnot. There was a consideration to change the law and kind of update the law, make it more modern, to include men too. So men would be protected under the sexual assault laws. But feminist groups protested. And feminist groups actually came out and they pressured the government not to include men in the law, not to include men in protection against sexual assault. And if you don't take my word for it, that's fine. Just read the article. They even quote the women's groups saying they were opposed to adding men. And now, 6 years later, the issue is still going on. So obviously, feminism is not really enough for men's issues. If you have rape being legal, being ignored. Obviously, what's happening is not enough. And that's why you're seeing these Mentoo protests and marches in India. And I suspect that they are just getting started because some of these issues have been going on for a very, very long time. I might do a video later on, kind of go in a little bit more depth about what's going on in India. You wouldn't think of men's rights in India as being a thing because of the way the media presents it in the West. You don't hear about that kind of thing, but it is very much going on. So read the links and see what you think.